The Outer Worlds is an old new kid on the block. It's a game that feels like Fallout and BioShock had a baby and then ventured into space. Created by Obsidian Games, the studio that made Fallout New Vegas, and published by Private Division, The Outer Worlds is an enjoyable, out-of-this-world experience. And yeah, I am making that joke. The game takes place in space in a solar system that seems to be run by corporate feudalism. As a passenger aboard a colony ship, your character is awakened by a mad scientist and you're shot onto the nearest planet by means of an escape pod. And you're on your way. On your way to get caught up in the drama of the Halcyon colony, that is. The story is a pretty entertaining sci-fi romp which sees you taking on a number of different tasks across the solar system. The narrative doesn't rush in immediately with its plot or the main antagonist, so the first few hours might feel a little slow. However, it has some good pacing because it isn't long before things start to ramp up. I love the conversations and the characters you encounter, often letting conversations play out and never really skipping them. There's a multitude of different personality types, and the dialogue options you have available to you lets you be as good or as bad as you want to be. Personally, I chose to play as a bit of a hero while tending to be a bit of an asshole here and there, which led to a few fairly humorous encounters. Your choices also carry weight, and the larger ones will affect the outcome of the game, but they're not black and white and almost always fall into the grey model area. The one thing that did bug me a bit is that quest givers can sometimes be missed, as they'll often call you as you walk past them. Thankfully I didn't miss anything, but it is a possibility. How you behave also plays into the reputation system, as it keeps track of who you've helped in the past. Get your reputation up to a certain level and you'll be eligible for some nice discounts at the various vendors you find throughout the game. However, due to the fact that you rarely use vendors aside from maybe selling a few things, this mechanic feels a little shallow. The game's combat takes place from a first-person perspective and feels similar to Fallout in its execution, but still somewhat different to make it feel unique. It feels faster paced with a stronger focus on pulling off precision shots in order to down your enemies. There's also an ability called tactical time dilation, which allows you to slow down time in order to better line up some devastating shots. It doesn't have the longest duration, but it can definitely come in handy when you're in an overwhelming situation. Plus, hitting certain parts of an enemy's body while it's active can have various effects, giving you an advantage. In a few cases, situations don't always have to resort to combat, however. If your stats are high enough in the dialogue skill, you are able to persuade, lie, or intimidate your way out of a fight. Honestly, it's quite nice to have this option, and it's interesting to see if it's possible to talk your way out of any possible conflict. Additionally, certain non-combat skills can net you some interesting combat perks to help you out when you really can't help engaging in combat. Something really cool that The Outer Worlds does is how it handles companions. As you make more progress into the game, you'll come across different characters who offer to accompany you on a quest. Each one of them is interesting and have great backstories. The best part of companions, however, is how their stats are incorporated into yours, giving you a bit of a buff. They can beef up skills that may have taken a backseat in your leveling, offering you abilities that may have been previously unavailable, in addition to increasing your carrying capacity. Since you can have two companions at a time, it's in your best interest to create a team that will be fairly well rounded. You aren't able to control them directly, however you are able to adjust how they behave in combat, plus change their equipment loadout. The Outer Worlds takes place over a number of locations across the solar system, and what better way to get around than with your own ship. The ship, the Unreliable, will act as a hub where you're able to access the various locations you'll visit. Additionally, you can catch up with your crew members to see what's been happening lately. The game looks great. It's not the most graphically intense title ever, but it runs well and its use of colors is a feast for the eyes. Voice acting for the characters you encounter is pretty good, which helped during some of the longer conversations. It would have been nice if the main character had a voice though, instead of being a mute. The Outer Worlds is a fantastic game. The story and characters come together to deliver a satisfying sci-fi narrative with lasting consequences, and the gameplay complements it nicely by giving you a choice about how you want to approach some situations. I do wish that with all the personality the dialogue has, that we had a character who voiced some of those lines. Nevertheless, there's a really great space RPG in the Outer Worlds that will take you to a host of different locations over a good number of hours. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you got your hands on The Outer Worlds, let me know what you thought of the game in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.